You got Mooch on the phone?
Yep, Coach is on the line.
Hey, Mooch, how are you?
Hello?
How are you, Mooch? You there?
Are we talking college football?
We are, sir. What do you think
love
of
it.
Well, that happened, that news popped right at the end of game day morning yesterday, and we really haven't had a chance to talk about it. What do you think about it?
Well, first of all, the 14 playoff is a heck of a lot better than we've ever had before.
No doubt.
We've had, we've had undefeated teams not becoming national champs. We've had LSU and USC claiming themselves national champs, and they don't even play each other. We've had all kinds of baloney, and so this is the fairest way to do it so far. I think we can even do better than this. I think we can go 8 teams and include all 5 conferences, major conferences, and then some at-large teams, and let them play. This is such a money-making deal for the NCAA and these universities and conferences that it's just exciting as heck. And we're all talking about it, so it's going to be a great thing. I know there's going to be disappointing teams. The Big 12 is really bummed they don't have a conference championship game.
Yeah, and then a lot of people think that if Baylor did play TCU one more time, that would have gotten them on a bigger stage.
Well, 12 wins, 12-1. That's why Ohio State's in.
Interesting. Steve Mariucci, my buddy from Game Day Morning, joining me here now. Do you think, I know you said on Game Day Morning, and you and the rest of the guys pretty much lockstep in agreement that Mike Pettin made the right move sticking with Brian Hoyer, but we saw yesterday the defense even gave this team 2 touchdowns against Indianapolis and did things against Andrew Luck we have not seen get done against Andrew Luck, and they still lost. They couldn't put points in the end zone offensively. Do you think Pettin's sitting here thinking he made a mistake day later, Steve?
No, I don't think he regrets his decision because that game came right down to the last play, so to speak, and so... And while Brian Hoyer's not been playing very well lately, let's just call it like it is. He's just not been lighting it up, okay? They could have won that game. Here's the thing. The Browns fans, they're talking about this at the water cooler like crazy. And it's not like the Browns have done anything in the last 2 decades. You know what I mean? They just haven't had any success there. The last time they're in the playoff was 12 years ago. The last time they won a playoff game was 20 years ago. They haven't had any quarterback with a winning record for 20 years. I mean, so it's really a drought. Well, all of a sudden, you got this kid that's 10-5, a hometown kid, Hoyer, that's 10-5 with the team in a playoff chase. You don't upset the apple cart, okay? But there's a but here, and now they're a game and a half out with 3 left. Do you look at this other guy and see if he helps you?
You have to, Steve.
They might
you
do
got
that
to. You got to.
Had they won the game, let's say the defense kept playing great and stopped Andrew Luck, Rich, on that last drive, and the Browns win. They're still right there. Then I'd say there's no way you'd think about changing Hoyer. I don't care what he's doing. There's no way. You don't screw it up if they're right in the playoff race, which has eluded them lately.
And Steve,
but
you have to.
Now, I think he might consider doing this.
You have to do it, though. You have to. I mean, the Browns are currently 12th in the AFC. They are part of a mosh pit at 7-6 that's not even one of the teams at the top of it in the playoff spot, at least last week.
Well, they're only competing against their division. I mean, they don't need to care about Patriots and Broncos. They only need to sneak in their own division, right? Remember when the Cincinnati Bengals in the same division drafted Carson Palmer number 1? Mm-hmm. Not number 22 like Johnny. Number 1, and they put him on the shelf for the first year. Yeah. Just to put them on the shelf, and then, okay, we're going to play you the second year. Watch to see how this pro thing works. And, where they play Kitna. And so that's what they're doing that a little bit right now. Cleveland.
Mooch, I want to play this sound for you. This was Jay Gruden yesterday after getting shut out at home. Colt McCoy looked dreadful. I mean, it feels like it's all falling apart over there. And this is when he was asked, because he's got to go to MetLife and take on the Giants next week, asked about if he needs to figure out how to motivate his players to play for that game. This is what he said.
They're pro football players. And like I said, anytime you have a chance to play against the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, or the Philadelphia Eagles, you should be able to be motivated as a pro football player. It's exciting. It's a privilege to play this game. So if I have to motivate a pro football player to play football, then we need to get new pro football players.
What do you think's going on there, Steve?
I think his first couple sentences were right on. He probably could have eliminated the last one. Everybody needs to be motivated, in their own way, whether it's intrinsic or whether it's, motivated from the family, from the media, from success or failure, everybody has certain motivations, and everybody in that locker room is a little bit different. A little bit. Jerry Rice was motivated differently than Gio Carmazzi. Okay, it's just different. And just because they have a label of being a pro, that doesn't mean that something pushes them, something excites their fire to be better, to go through the doldrums of a long marathon season. And so, the best motivating coaches, and they're all different, found a way to push the right buttons every day, every week, over long periods of time.
Well, Steve, I'm not going to be one of those hosts that sits here and bashes guys who go to the podium or ladies who go to the podium and are honest, because I'm not going to sit here and say, why would you say such a thing? Because I would much prefer to hear that and appreciate that than the usual, we got to play better, we got to do better, we got to coach better, we got to do all that sort of stuff. But that said, this sounds like this is all falling apart. Would you disagree with that, Steve? We don't know what's going on, obviously, upstairs, but this sounds like he's exhausted all the quarterback options. He's played all three of them. Yeah. None of them look good. The rest of these guys are looking dreadful. That happened in front of a half-empty, to use the pessimistic terminology, house yesterday. This feels like it's all falling apart, Steve.
Yeah, it looks like it, and I... he's a first-year coach in the National Football League, comes from a great pedigree, and did some playing, did some coaching, did some understudying, with his brother and all of that. And he took over a team. I don't know if that team was in disarray. It was an unusual circumstance.
Sure.
With RG3 and Super Bowl winning coach and let go, and it just seemed chaotic a little bit. And here we go again. He's trying to get that football team all on the same page in a confident, optimistic, winning type culture, and it's not happening. And he's experimenting, like you said, with 3 different quarterbacks. That's not a good sign, and that's to nobody's fault other than the results are not coming. Some other teams are a little bit in that boat. I hope they give Jay a hall pass. It's your first year. You inherited something a little bit goofy, and let's see if we can right the ship here in the off season. I don't think RG3 will be there next year. So, how about the Rams sending out 6 guys at the coin flip? Rich?
What'd you think of that?
I part of me laughed. Part of me went, what? And I don't know how to react to that. It was so bizarre.
So in your face.
6 guys that were acquired via the RG3 trade walk out on the coin flip, and RG3 sitting over there getting some Gatorade. I was like, oh my God, is this a slap in the face, or was this funny, or was it? I don't know how to react. But I think they're gonna. I think RG3 needs to play somewhere else, start over, where everybody loves them, and we'll give them an opportunity. And I'm not saying to be a starter. I'm saying to just be ready to go and, clear your mind a little bit. So a lot of teams need an off season badly to improve themselves, to get over this tough season here and recharge their batteries.
Mooch, thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
Hey, Rich. Yeah. I will see you very soon.
You bet.
Thanks for having me on.
Always. You're the best.
Bye.
There's Mooch.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.